Hello everyone. Hope you are doing awesome. Today you are watching Code with Shubhajit and let's get started with our video. But today it's a very different video. Apart from what I usually post for the DSA questions series which I am running now. So this is our channel. A few days back I got a comment on one of my videos. That comment says that this is by Divi Jagdap, and he says that can you please share any sheet or roadmap which consists of upcoming questions so according we can prepare. After reading the comment, I actually understood that yes, it's really important to give a sheet where all the questions are like stored. So for that I have created a sheet here which has the column for the problems, and here I have to like type the title as well as the link of the YouTube link to the problem. Okay, so that seems kind of a tedious task for me because now currently we have 16 videos, around 15 problem videos on the channel. Doing it manually one by one, yeah, it will take some time, but it will happen. It's not much, but let's say if there are 300 to 300 400 videos, then what I will do, will I log them one by one? So that's where I understood, no, let's use some automation here, and I'm using Python for that. So we have Python library where we can interact with YouTube with the help of an API, as well as we have to print all the problems along with the links here, which are taken from the YouTube, right? So for that, we also need to access the Google Sheets API. So these two APIs we need, and we need to integrate this application, taking the data from YouTube playlist and the DSA problem solving playlist, and adding all those problems to this Google Sheet. So that's our motive today. For the prerequisite part, what we have to do, we have to go to the Google Cloud Console. So here my Google Cloud Console is open. You can just search Google Cloud Console and then you can just navigate to this page. Okay. So for that, what I will be doing, I will be creating a new project here. Okay. And that project, let's say GS YT. Let's name it as automation. Okay. So this is fine. I will create it. Once it's done, you have to select that project. Okay. And you can see that now you are actually seeing the GSYT automation. Now this project is selected. You have to go to the APIs and services. And I will also give you the actual link where from where I'm like accessing all the steps. So this is the Google Sheets with Python API Quick Start. Okay. So I will provide you with this link. And here you can see that we have some of the steps. So prerequisites mentioning that we have to have Python 3.10.7 or greater. So if you have older versions of Python, please do update them if you are trying on your system. Then you have to enable the API. Okay, so going forward, I will be going to library. So here I will be requiring two APIs. One is the YouTube API and the other one is the Google Sheets API. Okay, so first let me enable the Google Sheets API. So let's just enable that. You can just click on that and enable. Okay, so it might take some time to enable that. Now again go to the library, and we have to also enable the YouTube data API v3. Okay, if it's not coming as a recommendation, then you can just write YouTube data and press enter. All the options you can see. Okay, so go there and enable as the same we have done for the Google Sheets. Okay, so both the APIs are enabled. Now what we will do, we will go to the credentials section, and after coming to the credential section, we will first create the credentials for the YouTube API, and then later on we will actually continue with the steps for the Google Sheets here. Okay, Python quick start with the Google Sheets. Okay, so let's get started with creating credentials for our YouTube API. Now a dialog box might have opened for you guys. You just have to copy that API key, close that dialog box, and go to your um, project folder. There you have to create a .n file. Okay, can you see this .n file? Once you create that, you will be using this YouTube API key. Okay, this should be YouTube. Yeah, you should be using this YouTube API key, and this should be equal to whatever you have copied from there. So let's say if your API key is ABCDE, then you should copy it like this without any single quotes or double quotes. Okay. After saving it here, you have to go back to your Google Cloud Console. Okay. Now, if you click on this API key, it is actually showing that the API key is unrestricted. So we just have to restrict it for the YouTube API because we are going to use it for YouTube API only for now. So just click on this. Now, if you go below, you can see that here it's now selected as don't restrict key. We will restrict the key and we will restrict it only for the YouTube API, data API v3. Okay. Once it's done, I will save it. Okay, and then we are gonna transfer to this credentials page again, and you can see a tick mark here that API key restricted. Good. Okay, this is done. Now we will go to the Google Sheets part. So here if you see, for the Google Sheets we have enabled the API. Now we will configure the OAuth consent screen. OAuth consent screen, it is here. Okay, so I will put the user type as external. Why? Because I will be using a test user, my Google account only for testing this application because I'm not creating any organization where I will be using it. Due to that, I will be using external. I will click create. Then I will go to the app name. Okay, let's say the app name is GSYT automation only. Then from here you have to select the support email. So it will be your primary email only of this account. So just select that. After this, yeah, you have to also add the developer contact information. So here also you will be adding your email ID, the same email ID only, and then you will save and continue. Okay, once you click save and continue, you will be directed to the scopes page, and here you have to add some of the scopes for Google Sheets. So as we are using the Google Sheets, that's why we will be enabling all the APIs which are related to Google Sheets just to make sure that everything works. So we have this Google Sheets API starting from here. We will enable it till here, Google Sheets API, all these five, yeah. And then I will update. Okay, now you can see that it's being updated. Okay, restricted scopes, see, edit, create and delete all of your Google Drive files. Okay, I don't think all of the Google Drive files we want. So these these two restricted scopes, which are the last, I will remove for now. Okay, I think these all are fine for me, whatever work I'm doing. I will then save and continue. After this, you need to add a test user. So if you add a user here, and here you have to type the email ID which you have selected previously only. Okay, once that is done, you after adding the test user, you will just do save and continue at the page, and after that you will go to the summary page where you can actually see that what all details you have put. If you want to change any of them, you can change, else you can just come to the credentials page. Okay, and after that, let's see what we need to do. We actually need to authorize credentials for the desktop application, so we have to create OAuth client ID now after creating credentials, OAuth client ID, and this we are doing for the Google Sheets part. So this is a desktop app. You can keep it as it is, or you can just do it as GS YT client 1. Okay, then I will just create this. Okay, once that is done, you will get a pop-up with the client ID and client secret. There you will be having an option of downloading JSON. So download the JSON that will be downloaded to your by default it gets downloaded to the downloads folder. Now you have to rename it to credentials.json, and then you need to copy that file to your project along with the .env file and the index.py file. So you can see here that I have copied the credentials.json. Like this you need to do, and after this your work is done for the Google Cloud Console part. Setting up the things, APIs and credentials, everything is done now. Okay, so before you start writing the code, you also have to install these packages using pip install. If you are using Windows. If you are using Mac, then you have to write pip3 install. Okay, do remember to install these things, else things will not work in your index.py file. Now what you need to do is uh, populate this file with the logic what you want. So our logic should be that from the YouTube playlist, given the playlist ID of the YouTube, I will actually extract all the videos for that. Only the title and the YouTube links for those videos I will be extracting. I will be creating a list with them, and then I will passing that list to the Google Sheets API part, where in that logic what I will be doing, I will actually call the Google Sheets API, and what I will do, I will actually pass the data lists values, the title and the link at a particular cell, and I will update those cells one after the other. Okay, so that is the whole flow here. I will explain you the index.py file now so that you can understand that how the things are happening. Okay, so this is the starting point of the Python file. So whenever this file is run, this is the main method which it will be calling, and the main method what it says, let's see. So I have given the playlist ID as this. You can give any other playlist ID whose data you want to fetch. Okay, but in my case, if you see, this is the playlist ID from where you can get list is equals to. Okay, so playlist ID I have set, then the data list is get YouTube playlist data with passing the playlist ID as it is. So let's see. So this data list is what I'm telling you, the list of the title and the links which I will be getting. So inside here, what is happening? So this code is basically taken from the internet, a bit of the API part. So we will be building this YouTube object with the help of the YouTube API service name, which is, I believe, YouTube. Okay, yeah, it's YouTube API version, which is v3, and the developer key is the YouTube API key, which we have set in the .env file. Okay, so these are the videos which we have taken as an empty list. Then I will actually create a request object where the youtube.playlistitems.list. So this is some basic code, okay, which we might not have to understand very deeply, but you should just understand that we will be passing the playlist ID here, and for one API call, we are having the max results at 50. So I know that for me, the number of videos uploaded is definitely lesser than 50, so it's fine for me. Okay, if the playlist which you are fetching from is greater than 50, then you have to increase this limit. Okay, or you have to make multiple calls for getting all the data. Okay, so now we have created this request object, and then so this request object is definitely an iterator, because what I see here that we are using the list next. Okay, so this is something like till the time the request doesn't end, the request object has items, go to the next object, the next object, the next object, and fetch the details of the particular YouTube video from there. So we are executing this, so you don't need to understand a lot, just you need to understand that in this for loop what is happening is we are taking the video details from the request item each and every iteration, and we are taking the title, we are taking the, and after taking the title, if you see, I just want you to show that my title is in the form of something this. If you see also here, find min and max in an array, then there is a pipe or condition type of symbol, and then by Shubhajit Adhikari in Java or TSA problem solving series. So there is a pipe. I just want to take the elements of the left of the pipe. So that's why I have written this logic where string title is title dot split with this pipe. I'm taking the first zeroth index, that's the left element, and I will strip it. If there are any spaces, it will just go off. Okay, then what is the video ID? The video ID is taken from this item which it is looping over, and then I don't want to take the private videos. I just want to continue in that case. So it will continue. It will just ignore the private videos in such cases. I will at the end inside the videos list append the shrinked title as well as the YouTube video link. Okay, so you are able to understand that we are creating a list where each item is actually a tuple, and in this tuple we will be having the title and the YouTube link to that. Okay, because that is something which I want to pass to the Google Sheets to get update it there. Okay, so now once this is done, the for loop ends, and then I will be returning the videos. So these videos are actually stored in this data list. Then I will manage Google Sheets. So the YouTube part is done. We have got the details from the YouTube API, and I will go to the manage Google Sheets part. I will put the GitHub repo link in the description. Okay, so in the Google Sheets, we have taken the credits variable, and then for the first time, so if you can see, there is no token.json which is created here. So for the first time, it will search that if token.json exists, then it will take the credentials from there only. But as it is not there, for the first time, we will be going through the flow. If you remember that, okay, whenever we have something like we are signing up for any application, continue with Google, those steps where we have to select the email ID and then we have to press continue some 2 or 3 times, that step will happen if the token.json is not there. That is for the first time, and from the next time you don't need to do that step again, because inside the token.json your access keys or whatever will be stored, so next time it will not ask you for that till the token expires. Okay, so this is that part only. Okay, once this is done, we will use this build method to and passing the the credentials which we have obtained from above, and we will creating the service object, and this service object will help us for updating the Google Sheets. So if I go here inside that start cell, and I just want you to show what is the start cell. Start cell is E6. Why I have kept the start cell as E6? I just want to show you. Can you see that E6? This is the E and this is the sixth row and E column. E6 will be the starting point where we will be writing. Okay. So for that, the starting cell is E6 and we are passing the data list here. Okay. Which we have got from the YouTube API. Once that is done, we will be selecting the current rows end start cell 1. So this will what it will do. So let's say if it is E6, it will take out 6, and uh, so current row will be having 6 initially. Okay, then I will be looping over the data list, and my only work is now to actually append the data from the data list to the Google Sheets starting at E6 cell. Okay, so request dot append, and there what we have to do, we will be creating this whole object where we have this start row index, end row index. The most important thing which you have to understand here is this part. So we are adding the hyperlink and the title here from the data list inside our Google Sheets. And once that is done, we will be incrementing the current row plus 1. So every time it will increment the current row. So first it is at E6, then it will at E7, E8, till the time we have data in the data list. Okay. Once that is done, we will be actually calling for a batch update on the spreadsheets API, giving it the spreadsheet ID. So this spreadsheet ID is basically, I will show you, this is here, which is actually taken from this only. This is the spreadsheet ID 1H5F4 till 5F4, this part. Okay, so this is the spreadsheet ID. Okay, this is done, and then we are passing the body here, the whole request object which we have created. Once that is done, I will print that cells updated successfully, and that is our whole logic which we are doing. Okay, so yeah, let's run this up and see what's happening. So when you run this, you have to make sure that you are inside this project directory. So 6 update G6 with YouTube data. I'm actually inside it. So after this, I will run python index.py. So if you are using Mac, then you have to do it as Python 3. Okay, so this should be Python 3 if you are using Mac. But in our case, we are using Windows, so we will be having python index.py. When you enter that, you will be redirected to the Google page where you have to press continue and you have to select the mail ID which you have actually selected in the Google Cloud Console. Okay, so once that is done, you will be able to see that inside your Google Sheets, the data has been filled. I will show you after doing this step. Okay, after running this, can you see cells updated successfully? It's telling that, right? So can you see here, the things are updated successfully, and you can see all the videos of mine till the last one, that is till now what I am recording, the spiral matrix, it's there. Okay, so this is something which is awesome, right? I don't have to do the manual process, it's done by just creating a script. And from the next time, if I have some 100 videos and I have to update this sheet, then it will be in a matter of seconds. Okay, I don't have to put it manually one by one. So that is the power of automations. That is the power of coding and development that I want you to understand. Okay, so that's all for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed. I will be putting all the links in the comment section, so you can also set it up and see that how things are working. And thanks a lot for watching this. Hope it helped you learn how powerful is automations. Thanks again.